Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. But in today's video, of course, we are doing a twin flame reading because today, as of the date I'm releasing this reading, it is Monday, and those of you who often tune into this channel know that I create twin flame general collective energy updates on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you to all of you who are tuning in, but a special thank you to those of you who were able to make it to the live premiere of this reading, because these live premieres are actually really energetically active spaces in time where we are able to, as a soul family and as a collective here, energetically support and uplift one another in real time, no matter where you are tuning in on from the planet. By the way, be sure to let me know in the live chat if you are watching this as a live premiere, or down in the comments section, where are you tuning in from today? Because I think it's so helpful and beneficial for us as twin flames to see that we are never alone on this journey. We are energetically supported by souls who are experiencing similar things all over the planet. So I'm going to get us started with this reading today with the Energy Oracle Cards deck. You guys know I love using this deck for channeling, especially for doing these twin flame channelings. As I'm shuffling and beginning to pick up on the energies here, please be sure to like this video and also make sure you are subscribed to this channel, because the actions of liking and subscribing are ways to send your energy to this channel, to this space, in a way that is easier for me to pick up on during these readings. So I'm actually able to channel more specific messages for those of you who are subscribed here. I'm also going to set some intentions out loud for this reading. You can feel free to set your own intentions either out loud or within your own minds, or even in the comments section or the live chats, however you feel guided into this kind of intention setting process. By the way, I just saw the number 333 on the recording timer, and I should also say I've actually been seeing this number a lot recently. So let me know if you've been seeing the number 333. I also heard that for some, this could represent how your connection with your twin flame is really three-sided in a sense. It's not just between you and your twin in the physical, as most forms of 3D connection are, but this connection actually has a third element to it. And this third element is the divine aspect to your connection, the spiritual, the energetic aspect to your connection. I'm hearing see beyond the physical, see beyond the 3D, and hopefully we will see how that kind of initial symbolism connects later on in the reading. So one card has already come out of the deck here, and a second card, which actually turned itself over. I haven't turned over the first card yet, but the second card that flipped over right away is Angel of Love in the upright position. This is a beautiful first card to come out of the deck, especially in a twin flame reading, because this card represents unconditional love. I'm hearing what this journey is teaching you and shifting you into. It is teaching you how to stabilize the frequency of unconditional love, sometimes through experiencing challenges, blocks that you may be storing to accessing this unconditionally loving frequency within yourself. So, of course, we're beginning, as we usually do, with a bit more general messages, and we will get specific as we go further along. But do keep in mind, I do channel many different forms of specific messages for certain individuals, even throughout these general readings. So at the end of the day, always listen to your own intuition above all else, because it's really your intuition that is the compass of your soul, meaning it is leading you in the right direction for you, which could be a different path than where others are being guided by their own intuition. Wow, guys. Okay, so 4 cards, and I'm saying wow because the 4th card I pulled here to get us started is the Yin Yang card, the Twin Flame card, coming out right away, this time in the upright position. And I feel the reason this card is upright right now is because it's meant to be a sign of confirmation. Yes, that it's kind of as though this card is saying, yes, we are channeling a twin flame connection here for someone who could be feeling a sense of doubt as to whether or not a specific person is their twin flame. I don't feel this person experiences these doubts from all the time. I feel like these doubts are experienced occasionally from time to time. And this card was coming up as a message of confirmation for that specific person. Also, I pulled a card from the Hidden Truth Oracle also to get us started today. And this card says, you were the best thing in my life. And I'm getting a very strong masculine energy from this card. I believe this card actually came out in one of my recent mini readings here as well. I do channel mini readings at random, or really as I feel guided from time to time on this channel. And I do feel I pulled this for a masculine recently as well. This is a very strong theme coming up for the collective masculine. Yeah, with the 6th chakra in the upright position, this kind of ongoing, increasing sense of awareness for the masculine about what this connection really is. It's like they are consciously remembering this connection in a more powerful way, solidifying this kind of knowing within themselves, and that is happening, that's taking place through the portal of their spiritual awakening, which has been going on for a while now, but is really reaching a kind of a peak here, what we could think of as almost a boiling point, where finally all of that, I'm seeing like a pot boiling water, and it's like the water is boiling under the lid, and then finally it just blows the lid open and boils over. And I feel that represents how for the masculine there's been this ongoing spiritual awakening. But although it's been happening in a powerful and steady kind of ongoing sort of fashion, at the same time to the divine feminine, this may have not been as visible in the physical world. The effects of this intuition opening, this third eye opening for the masculine, and this kind of ongoing intensified spiritual awareness of the connection, but that is changing. This is becoming more of a manifested knowing for the masculine, and hopefully I can channel more on that later in this reading. But as I was speaking about that, the 4th chakra in the reverse happened, or came out of the deck. But what I was sensing that happens is that this masculine, through the process of this kind of metaphorical water boiling, this pressure building, which I actually feel to the masculine has felt like almost a tension, like a pressure building, the tension created by this powerful, intense twin flame energy, this highly spiritual, transformative energy coming up against any heart center blocks with 4th chakra, the heart chakra reversed here, that the masculine was still holding on to. And I almost saw visually this masculine trying to hold the door shut as the door was trying to push itself open. And I feel this was the masculine's inner child in some cases, or his wounded self in other cases, trying to maintain these heart chakra blockages, to keep his heart closed to this connection or to his awakening process in general. But over time, it's like he couldn't help but surrender to it. And we are now shifting from that phase of the masculine trying to push the door shut, to keep the door shut, to finally, again, this boiling point, this breaking over point where that is no longer possible, where it's no longer going to be possible for the collective masculine to, I heard keep his mouth shut, but keep this door shut to his awakening. And what I meant by the keep his mouth shut, I feel that's kind of a blunt way for my guides to say that communication in the 3D is going to be coming in from the masculine, or intensifying from the masculine, especially for those of you who have been in a period of silence in the physical 3D world on the side of being the divine feminine, which I should have said this at the beginning, but do keep in mind through these readings that when I channel for the masculine and the feminine, I'm speaking to energetics. I'm purely speaking to energy here. So you could resonate with the divine feminine as someone who is presenting very traditionally masculine in the physical world, who is a male, who you could even be considering yourself a very like manly man and still have this divine feminine energy, because it's about the energy that flows between twin flames. And alternatively, you could be a woman, and even you could consider yourself to be a highly feminine woman and still identify with the masculine energy in regards to twin flame connection. And if you're interested, I would love to create more podcast videos in the future for any of you who may be unsure of whether you are the divine feminine or the divine masculine. But another thing to note is these energies can be very fluid at times. They're often in flux, especially as you continue through this process of what we call integration, where you are integrating your inner masculine and inner feminine along your twin flame path. And as this integration process continues, you can actually find that sometimes you resonate with both messages intended for the masculine and some intended for the feminine as well. Blossoming abundance in the upright position. And I'm actually really feeling pulled to the guidebook for this card. An increase in possibly a dramatic and unexpected way. I'm hearing unexpected and dramatic changes showing up on the surface for the collective masculine. I'm sensing that moving into later months in the spring, specifically April, May, and into June, into the peak of Gemini season, moving into Cancer season, I'm seeing that these changes that have been happening for the collective masculine are going to show up in these, as I was channeling from the guidebook, these unexpected and even dramatic kinds of ways. I'm hearing dramatic offers. So there could even be a divine masculine who re-enters your life, divine feminine, in the physical if there has been a separation in this seemingly very unexpected way. But what I'm hearing is, for those who this message is for, it happens as you are least expecting it, because you, divine feminine, are focusing so much on yourself, on your own endeavors in your life, your passion, your purpose. You are really allowing yourself to be lit up by passion and excitement and desire for your personal life, or what appears to be your personal life. But of course, there is nothing truly individual on this twin flame path, because divine feminine, as you focus on your personal self-growth, self-development, growth in your work or career or your life or whatever the case may be, your masculine is silently observing and admiring and feeling these shifts in real time. That's what I'm sensing from your masculine, even if there is this physical 3D disconnect or perceived disconnect between you. I'm hearing he is more aware of you, divine feminine, than you realize at times, because of that doubt that kind of starts to creep in from time to time. The Patience card reversed also came out here as well, and also door to personal healing and happiness in the reverse position. I'm actually going to read a little bit from this card in the guidebook to channel some messages here. You may be feeling stuck where your personal intentions are concerned. Specific plans for personal change may be being blocked. Remember that your intentions need to be clear and unconflicted. Know that you are capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to and that you deserve it. Put your heart into plans and changes you desire and realize that you are worth your own time and efforts. The new beginning you seek will come with your own focus and patient determination. And with that word patient, it's interesting that came out because the patience card reversed is also here. And really what I'm hearing is a message of guidance for a divine feminine from her guides, from her higher self, or whatever spiritual forces she connects with here. And the message is for a divine feminine who may be, as the guidebook says, feeling as though things in her personal life she is trying to achieve may at times seem too difficult for her to accomplish, or there's some element of impossibility, like something about this thing that I desire just has this feeling of perhaps being too big of a dream or being impossible in some sense. I'm also picking up on potentially outside influences here, other people in her life or society generally causing her to kind of have a little bit of doubt or disbelief in either herself or this dream. Now, do keep in mind, this could be related to her divine masculine counterpart specifically and her dream of reuniting with him or having some kind of a deepening of their physical connection in the 3D. But this could also apply to her personal life, some kind of monetary goal, a business goal, a career goal. And I'm hearing this guide message here, this message from her guides saying, Divine Feminine, everything is available to you. I know you feel that magic running through your fingertips right now. I know you feel that amplified manifestation power. Don't let your own ego self, your own fear, cause doubt to seep into this increased awareness of your potential and of the potential of your life experience that you are now receiving, Divine Feminine. And specifically with the patience card reverse coming out here, I feel a key for this divine feminine, regardless of what it is that she is trying to manifest or create in her life here, that at times she feels doubtful about. The key here is releasing concepts of time limitation around this thing. I'm hearing be concrete about what you want, hold the vision of what you want, but allow yourself to be open to the divine timing of this dream, of this goal, or of this manifestation. So there's this kind of strange combination of creating a clear vision, divine feminine, a concrete vision for what you desire to manifest, attract, or create, whether it's in your life, in your twin flame union, whatever the case may be. But then once you've created the vision, hold the vision and release your fears around the timing, around when is it going to show up, when is it going to happen. And the key for you right now, Divine Feminine, in releasing that time limitation is really allowing yourself to get lost in the moment through your own passion, through infusing passion into your day-to-day life, into your work, into your business you're trying to create, into the endeavors in your life that are leading to that manifestation, into whatever it is that really lights you up, that fuels you, that fills you with passion. Really allow yourself to get lost in that rather than feeling the need to know the exact timeline of how this passion is going to solidify or play out for you, or how this dream is going to manifest itself. It's like this combination of setting a clear goal, holding that goal or dream, no matter how impossible it may seem, but then on a daily basis, releasing fear by allowing yourself to get lost in your passion for life or for your hobbies or for working towards that goal, whatever it may be for you, Divine Feminine. Now, if this is resonating with you, I am going to be channeling more detailed higher self messages for the Divine Feminine. So important messages that either your higher self, your spirit guides, or whatever divine forces you, Divine Feminine, personally connect with want you to know at this time in regards to life, love, or your twin flame connection specifically. So those Divine Feminine higher self messages will be channeled in the extended version of this reading, which is always available through our Patreon Soul Tribe. The link to this extended reading for those of you who would like to explore it further is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. There's something about red hair here for someone also, or curly hair, but I don't think that's going to be for everyone. Cornucopia in the upright position. Now I feel this is leading us into a new segment of messages. There's something here about making up for lost time or regaining something that someone thought was lost. And I'm actually hearing lost forever. There is this energy here of manifesting, attracting, or creating something in your life that you'd actually given up on because there's a part of you that had decided that it was impossible. So what I'm getting for many, specifically in the Twin Flame Collective, this could be a kind of reunion or movement forward in the physical with your person, or a new beginning with your person that may have felt impossible, that may have felt delayed in the past or even into the present. And this card is coming in to say here that nothing is impossible, and maybe you've been feeling this lately. In fact, what I'm getting is it's like someone had really thought to themselves, because of some delay or pushing off of this new beginning or this future with their person, they may have thought that, okay, this is probably never going to happen. They may have really let go or tried to let go or disconnect from the journey, but then through that process of letting go, surrendering, and really focusing on themselves and their own spiritual path and growth, what they're actually being taken through is this kind of beautiful full circle here, where it's like that very thing that your heart desired, that you thought you needed to let go, is now coming to you. So I know that's a bit vague and could apply very differently for different people, but do let me know how this resonates for you. And I just saw the number 2211. For those of you who are seeing that number a lot recently, you can look that up and see if there is some kind of a message within that number there for you. So I'm now going to be channeling messages from both the 3D self of the masculine and the divine feminine. So the masculine's been a little bit quiet in this reading today, which leads me to think the masculine is perhaps in that state at the moment of silent admiration, of feeling this strong awareness of the divine feminine, even in a more conscious way, again, through his spiritual awakening process that is continuing to reach that boiling point, and yet perhaps not fully vocalizing that. And the reason, if there is this non-communication from the masculine in the physical, or lower communication, it's because I hear him saying, because I know that with this angel of balance in the midway position, I know that I am coming into balance, but I also know that I'm not fully there yet. This is really speaking to a higher self-consciousness awareness from this masculine, that something is deeply shifting and stabilizing within him. Angel of strength in the upright position. Yeah, and there's this feeling of divine feminine. I see you living your passion, whether it's that he literally sees you through social media, through some way that you're connected, or through the physical world, or if it's simply that he has that twin flame inevitable awareness of you just energetically on this higher self level, rising in your power, rising in your confidence. But I also hear a kind of twinge of feeling from a masculine of divine feminine. What's my place in your life? Because you are growing in your independence. You are growing in your confidence. I feel like you don't need me anymore. It's the anymore word also came out for someone. It's almost as though in the past there was a greater pattern of codependency at play within this twin flame connection in the physical. And I almost feel that in the past, the divine feminine here did almost have this feeling, a really fear-based feeling of need for the masculine in the 3D that she is really released as she's building confidence in herself, developing a stronger sense of independence. It's almost as though this masculine is, with rest and rejuvenation reversed, losing sleep with kind of an anxiety that, you know, what if, divine feminine, I'm losing you forever because because it's almost like this masculine saying, I feel like I didn't or wasn't capable of in the past giving you what you felt you needed from me within this connection when we were each operating in the physical under this model of greater codependency. But since you've started really fully rising in your power and confidence, I now have this feeling of anxiety of where is my place in your life? And of course, these are very 3D based fears because there is in truth no disconnection between twin flames on the energy level. I feel this masculine coming up against fears, and I feel what's driving these fears that are surfacing here is actually this deeper level healing process, because with deceit reversed, it's like all illusions are being lifted for this masculine. Really what I'm getting from deceit reversed is self-deceit, but also potentially self-deceit that in the past was reflected outward as active kind of deceit, or deceit meaning trying to hide something, trying to manipulate some kind of situation, trying to maintain some kind of control through the construction or maintenance of illusion in the physical world. That's what I'm getting from this masculine in the past. Or again, this could have been simply deceit turned inward, this self-deceit. How is this masculine deceiving himself in the past? Garden and the gates in the reverse position. I'm actually going to read a little bit about this card from the guidebook here as well. The happy choice to open the door to a more spiritual pursuits. Many people believe that they cannot live in a material world, make lots of money, and engage in spiritual priorities at the same time, but you now realize that this isn't true. In fact, you can bring this wonderful spiritual focus to any endeavor. You may have been obsessed with worldly issues before, but your readiness to go deeper is now there. Wow, okay, so that's what I feel from this deceit reverse card, speaking to the masculine, releasing patterns of self-deceit. It's almost as though this masculine was trying to, I don't want to say avoid his spiritual path, but it's like he wasn't yet ready to face the depth of this journey, to face the kind of dark night of the soul experience that he's now going through. So in the past, to kind of bypass this depth, he may have used self-deceit or active deceit projected outward to really fixate his attention on worldly things, on material things that I feel from the perspective of the feminine did kind of create this disconnect in the physical, this perceived disconnect, whether it was emotional, physical, or literal, because this masculine was, I heard refusing to prioritize. That might connect with a divine feminine or how she has felt in the past. But I'm also feeling from a masculine, it's like, I really heard a masculine say, she, in using she, he's referring to, and this won't be for everyone, but this masculine specifically is referring to a karmic feminine in the past in his life. And he's saying, she allowed me to bypass my spiritual depth, this spiritual journey that at the time I was afraid of unconsciously, because she didn't force me into this depth, or it wasn't forcing him into. It's like it wasn't possible to experience this depth with this karmic feminine for this masculine. And again, this will not be for everyone, just for a select few of you who have experienced a third party or a karmic feminine situation with this masculine. But alternatively, I'm hearing that this could actually apply not just to a karmic feminine, but any form of karmic cycle or pattern or addiction or negative behavior pattern that created a disconnect in the physical between the masculine and feminine counterparts in the past. This masculine is saying that particular pattern, cycle, or even a karmic person allowed me to hold up this illusion, this kind of self-deceit, to push off this spiritual healing and depth that I wasn't quite ready for. And that is why I stayed in this situation or stayed stuck in this pattern or cycle for so long. It's because, again, it allowed me to not need to go deeper within myself, to do this deeper level healing work that I wasn't yet ready to do in those past situations. But it's like, as the guidebook said, the key here is the readiness to go deeper is now there. It's like in the past, this masculine wasn't ready, but now he is. Now he is ready to go deeper with this connection, with his spiritual consciousness and his spiritual journey in general. I heard starting back at square one, going back to the beginning, something coming full circle here with first chakra in the upright position, the root chakra. I feel this masculine. I just heard the name Henry for someone, by the way, or Harry. So I hear this masculine saying, I am ready to build a foundation with you, Divine Feminine. But in order to do that, it's like this masculine had to come full circle within himself too. He had to go back to the beginning in the sense that he had to go into the depths of his own childhood, his own pain that could be from these inner child wounds, or even from other kinds of life experiences that even happened in his teenage years, in early adulthood. There's something here about having to go back into past experiences that were really painful for him. This could be happening on a deep unconscious level, but regardless of whether it's conscious or unconscious, I'm also hearing that it's really affecting his sleep patterns right now as well, causing him again with that rest and rejuvenation reversed to feel sleepless, or at times to feel like he's oversleeping. His energy levels are just feeling really unbalanced, but it's because unconsciously he's really going back into these deep-seated childhood or early adulthood traumas or memories or painful experiences that need to be released in order for this new foundation between himself and the Divine Feminine, which is really just that inner foundation, that inner integration of his own inner masculine and feminine, which has to take place. And adjacent possibilities in the reverse, what I'm really feeling from this card is I'm really not focused on any other person or option or even a potential path besides you, Divine Feminine. That's what I'm getting from this masculine. And I hear that this is the case even if you're in a situation where this masculine is still in connection with third parties or others, or appears to be from the perspective of the feminine, appears to be still dating or connecting with others. And again, that won't apply with everyone, but if that is the perception for you as the feminine, know that that is an illusion, because in this masculine's conscious mind, these are still conscious 3D messages here. We haven't gotten into the unconscious, the higher self messages yet, but this masculine is saying there is no other option but you, Divine Feminine, and I'm consciously realizing it now. So it's like with Blossoming Abundance up right here as well, and that number 3 coming out again with the number 3 card. The masculine is saying here, I am planting the seeds of our future, even if you are not seeing that planting that is taking place and that growth beneath the surface, Divine Feminine. I am completely disinterested. That's really the feeling I'm getting. It's like total lack of interest or boredom in the idea of any other option of a person romantically or a potential life path besides the Divine Feminine. That's what I'm getting from this masculine. It's like all of my true focus, energy, and attention, regardless of what's going on or what your perception is in the physical, truly all I am really thinking about or focused on in my heart and soul is planting this seed of our future together. So, wow, very powerful messages coming through from the 3D self of this masculine. And in the extended version of this reading, I will be channeling more specific 3D messages from this masculine from the Hidden Truth Oracle and the Twin Flames in Separation deck to really channel some specifics on how this masculine is thinking and feeling in the physical world through his conscious thoughts, his conscious mind, and his conscious emotions at this time about the Divine Feminine. So the link to the extended reading again is in the pinned comment and description box. But for the sake of time here, I am going to be switching over to the Divine Feminine. And I want to know what's going on with the Divine Feminine in the physical 3D world, although we did already touch on some of what she's going through right now. And of course, the sacral chakra, the second chakra in the reverse position came out here. I intuitively felt that this would come up in this reading because I've been sensing that there are some Divine Feminines who are transmuting some of the masculine's sacral chakra wounding that they are healing through their own physical body. And I know this is a very specific, hyper-specific message that is probably only going to apply to a select group of divine feminines. But for those of you who this message is for, it's really essential that you have an awareness of what's happening here energetically and through your physical body in this connection, which does remind me, I am thinking of creating a podcast on specifically how the energetics between twin flames, the energy transfer, can affect you physically through signs and symptoms that you feel through your physical body. So if that is something you're interested in, do let me know in the comments or the live chat. But I want to channel more information on this because I'm feeling specifically that, okay, so what's going on here is, and this is really high level, it's a bit complex, so I hope I can find the words to describe it accurately, but I feel those of you for who this is for will feel this and understand how this applies for you personally, intuitively. So what's going on is there is a masculine who has really struggled with intimacy with the divine feminine in the past. These issues for this specific masculine are really deep-rooted, deep-seated in his sacral chakra. I feel for some masculines, this could have come from childhood trauma experiences. Also, alternatively, it could be the divine feminine who had mirrored childhood trauma experiences. I hear that this could have been abandonment, neglect, or literal words that I don't want to use because I don't want this video to get demonetized, but very negative, and I'm sure you'll know what I mean, negative experiences where this masculine or the divine feminine felt violated through their physical body, and it really affected their ability to be able to forge intimate connections with others romantically, whether it was that they were more comfortable with physical connection than with true emotional depth, if it was that they had difficulty wanting to commit to a single person. Again, this could be so many different forms of childhood experience or early adulthood experiences, but there's some kind of trauma here that I feel both counterparts in this specific situation shared in their childhood. Both had these kinds of experiences, although they may have had them differently. So for one, it could have been parental neglect of some kind, and for another, it could have been an early adulthood kind of physical violation or something within a relationship or connection to another person. But regardless of what was going on here, there is a mirroring effect taking place. However, I feel that at this moment in time, it is the masculine who is really going into the depths of his pain, of his trauma stored specifically in the sacral chakra here. And what this is doing on a higher self level is actually breaking open this masculine to, I'm hearing monogamy could be something coming up here. So someone could have this desire to share a monogamous connection with their twin flame, to be in an open, fully supportive connection, physically manifested romantically with their twin, but they actually could struggle to commit within romantic relationships or to want to really be vulnerable within romantic relationships, again, because of these sacral chakra wounds coming up here. What I'm hearing is the way you can know that your masculine is dealing with this is he is someone who has said things like, I want you, but it's like, I can't let myself commit to this, or I can't let myself have you. Whether he said that with his words or with his actions, what this masculine is really dealing with here is a deep, deep sacral chakra wound that he is healing. But it's so powerful and so intense, and it's affected his life so profoundly that through the healing of this wound, it's as though he is re-experiencing it in a more intense way. And I feel that even if this is happening for him unconsciously, it at times causes him a lot of conscious, either physical or emotional pain that he doesn't even really fully understand the source of at times. But again, this is all healing. It is shifting for this masculine. But I'm hearing that if at times, divine feminine, you felt your divine masculine literally seeming to suddenly pull away, or it's like this sudden backtracking. So know that he could be experiencing the emotional re-experience of this sacral chakra wounding that he is now healing. So don't allow yourself to become too caught up or fixated on these moments where it feels as though the masculine is sliding back or going back. He's not. It's just that he's re-experiencing the wound for the purpose of healing it once and for all, of allowing himself to really fully open to stabilizing that kind of vulnerable connection with you that he hasn't been capable of in the past because of this sacral chakra blockage and wounding. Now, going back to what I said at the beginning of this kind of segment, some divine feminines may actually be feeling this sacral chakra healing happening for the masculine through their own physical body. So I'm hearing this could be showing up literally, and of course, always see a doctor. I have to give that medical disclaimer. If you're experiencing medical or physical signs or symptoms, I always recommend ruling out traditional or medical explanations first. But I'm speaking to those of you who know that these symptoms have no known medical cause, meaning that you are feeling intuitively and you know that they are energetically or emotionally based somehow. And what I'm getting is, for the feminine, you might feel this shift, this healing happening for the masculine in their sacral chakra through some of your own physical bodily symptoms or sensations. Now, of course, this could vary depending on the person. For some of you, this may show up as feelings of bloatedness, getting cramps in your abdomen or lower stomach area. You could feel as though there's just this kind of heaviness in that area. Also, energetically, you could feel varying energy levels. So you could find yourself not feeling a consistent, stable energy. So at times you could feel really energized. And I'm hearing a divine feminine say, I feel energized at the wrong times of day. So energized at like 3 a.m, and then really tired when you're supposed to be sleeping. For others, this could simply be sleeping a ton in one night and then not being able to sleep hardly at all in another night. I'm also hearing a divine feminine waking up feeling overheated or getting kind of like hot flashes or kind of like sweating more in her sleep, almost like cold sweats or something like that. But again, this will not be for everyone, this message generally, and even if it is for you, the way that it manifests or shows up for you physically will vary depending on your own physical body and the way that you personally interpret these energies through your body and at the conscious level. But just have an awareness of that as the divine feminine, especially if you're listening and you've been experiencing any of these emotional or physical symptoms for yourself or from your masculine at times as well. Again, with this seeming to backslide, seeming to pull away at times, I just wanted to give you a heads up about what potentially could be really going on there. Now, I am going to channel just a little bit from the higher self of the masculine, but this video is starting to get a little bit long, so I do want to let you know that in the extended version of this reading, I will be going a lot more in depth with these higher self love messages from both the masculine and feminine to one another. These higher self messages could be literally about their personal life, their career, their life path, but they could also be, and some will be, related specifically to love and relationship and to the physical other counterpart. So the link to all of those extended messages, of course, is in the pinned comment and description box. Okay, so 3 cards came out here showing a clear progression to get us started. I really feel this masculine's higher self speaking at the same time to both his own physical 3D self, who is still in the heat, in the thick of all of these trials that the masculine is going through at the moment on the planet, on a planetary level, and also on the individual level as well. But I also feel this speaking from the higher self of the masculine to the divine feminine counterpart as well, saying, hey, this is what's going on here with me and what you need to know. So the first card is hostilities. The second card is healer of the ages reversed. And the third card is victory in the upright position. And this is such a beautiful progression of cards coming from the masculine, because with hostilities upright, it's speaking from a past dynamic that is, I heard, coming into question. I'm also getting this this message just in general of the masculine is taking a lot of heat right now. So I specifically saw masculine taking a lot of heat, as we say, at work or at some kind of a career, or in regards to his finances. It's like something going on with this specific masculine where he's taking a lot of heat from his boss or his coworkers, or being put under a lot of pressure. This could also be in his relationships or from his family as well. So only take that as it connects with you. But with this hostilities card in the upright position, what I'm really hearing is this old paradigm. I'm hearing toxic masculinity, this kind of hyper masculine, ego-driven, materialistically focused energy that represented the wounded masculine, and that's corresponded with the victimhood of the divine feminine, the over self-sacrifice and self-abandonment of the feminine. These two dynamics are representative of an old cycle, both collectively and that played out for us as twins at the individual level, that is now coming into question, coming under fire, and actually falling away. And really what we're experiencing now, whenever we feel as though there's a backsliding, either on the planetary level or individually with our twin flame, we are just experiencing someone or some institution or something trying to continue to hold this old, outdated paradigm of, again, toxic masculinity combined with feminine victimhood and over self-sacrifice and self-abandonment. We are experiencing at times someone or some institution or something trying to hold up that old paradigm in a new world where that paradigm no longer can be maintained. I just keep hearing like you can't go back to your old way of being. And this is speaking both to a divine feminine who at times finds herself wanting to go back to a weaker state of being within herself, to go back to old patterns of behavior or emotion that used to hold her back or cause her to abandon herself in some way. But this is also speaking to the masculine. Masculine, you can't go back either. You can't go back to this cycle of using control or illusion to try to prevent yourself, to protect yourself from needing to be fully vulnerable and open. Both of these patterns are being released again, both globally, collectively, and at the individual level. And where it's really coming to a head is with Healer of the Ages reversed. It's really being healed right now deeply through the collective of the masculine. But at the moment, he's in the heat, the thick of his healing. He is finding himself in flux, almost in limbo right now. It's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out when it comes to his healing, his spiritual awakening. It's like a part of him trying to hold on to these old patterns and dynamics, and the more powerful part of him, the awakened and continuing to awaken part of him, realizing that all of that needs to be released and needs to be let go. But of course, this is still leading to internal conflict for the masculine at times. But ultimately, the victory card upright is speaking to what we are shifting into. This masculine will be victorious in a sense over himself. His soul self will be victorious over his fears, over his self-protective mechanisms that are now being called into question and being released. And ultimately what this is leading to with the World card upright is total expansion, total opening up. And when I say opening up, I mean opening himself, not just spiritually, although that is the most significant opening taking place, but also this will lead to a manifested physical 3D opening up more and more to the divine feminine counterpart and within this connection. But it all has to start and it's like the victory has to be won, the war has to be fought, and the victory has to be won internally for this masculine first. Wow, very powerful messages coming through from the masculine, and I again will be channeling more specific love and connection related messages from both this masculine and the divine feminine in the extended, so you can follow the link in the pinned comment or description box for those more detailed, elaborate messages. But for now, I'm going to close this reading here with one final message from the Rumi Oracle. So what is one final message for twin flames tuning into this reading right now at this time on the planet? What is one final message twin flames need to know? Star Mother Arrakis And I'm going to end this reading with a message from the beautiful Rumi Oracle Guidebook. Be the king who has made his own kingdom. And I feel that speaking to the masculine. Be the moon that has made her own summit, of course, speaking to the feminine, connecting with the symbolism of the moon. How much longer will you cuckoo like a pigeon, empty your head of all mortal lusts, all material fixation in neglect of the spiritual, and become life without breath? You will not call out for God anymore, for you have become immersed in God. Rumi. And the guidebook also says, here is your guidance. Lay down your old weapons, for new technology awaits you. It is the most magnificent of forces, that of divine alignments, of surrender to the Star Mother and her way of luminous potency. From her great vantage points, the vastest problems of our earthly mindsets are merely in need of a quick whipping by the tail of a comet, and this she easily achieves by flicking a strand of her hair or poking out her tongue. In the hands of a greater being, even your deepest trials will succumb to divine victory. Wow, absolutely beautiful closing message from the guidebook. I really want to give just a huge thank you to every one of you beautiful souls tuning in here to the reading, especially during these live premieres and live chat sessions. The energy here is so incredibly powerful and uplifting, and I'm so grateful that we are here connecting and really remembering one another as soul family, because many of us are part of the same soul family on a higher self level as well. And I'm so grateful that we're able to support and literally co-create this channel here together. So thank you for being here. And if you are headed over to the Soul Tribe group on our Patreon for the extended reading, more information on that is available to you in the pinned comment and description box. Otherwise, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to connect with you here again on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another Twin Flame energy update.